Hi, I'm Malia. I'm a junior at State University, majoring in business with a minor in psychology. People say I'm too trusting, and after what happened last semester, I'm starting to believe them. Malia, over here! Zoe waved frantically from our usual spot at the campus cafe. My best friend since sophomore year of high school, Zoe and I had been inseparable for 5 years. We even applied to the same colleges and screamed on the phone together when we both got into state. You will not believe who just signed up to be my economics project partner, I said, sliding into the chair across from her. Who? Please tell me it's not that weird guy who always smells like tuna. No, it's Jake Mitchell. I lowered my voice even though the cafe was noisy. The one I've been telling you about all semester? Zoe's eyes widened. The hot guy with the dimples who always wears those vintage band tees? I nodded, feeling my cheeks flush. I've been crushing on him since September, and now we're going to be working together for the next 6 weeks. This is your chance, Molly. You have to make a move. Zoe leaned forward, her coffee forgotten. What's the project about? Market analysis for small businesses. We're partnering with a local bookstore. Perfect. Bookstores are romantic. You can suggest studying there instead of the library. I sighed. I don't know. He's so confident, and I always freeze up around him. Yesterday, he asked me a question about the assignment, and I just stared at his face for like 10 seconds before answering. That's why you need my help. Zoe tapped her fingernails against her mug. I'm great at this stuff. Remember how I helped Ashley land a date with that soccer player last year? Yeah, but no buts. Operation Get Jake is officially launching. I'll do some intel gathering, find out what he likes, who he hangs out with. Trust me, by midterms, he'll be asking you out. Over the next 2 weeks, Zoe became weirdly invested in my crush. She'd text me random facts about Jake she'd somehow discovered. His favorite coffee order, what gym he went to, even that he was looking for a tutor for his Spanish class. How do you even know all this? I asked her one night during our weekly movie marathon. I have my ways, she said mysteriously. Oh, I can't do pizza night on Thursday. Group project meeting? That was the 3rd time she'd canceled our plans. Again? Which class? Sociology. She changed the subject quickly. So have you talked to Jake more? I had, actually. We'd met twice for our economics project, and things were going well. I think he might be interested. He remembered I like caramel lattes and brought me one yesterday. That's great, Zoe said, but her smile seemed forced. Listen, I should go. Forgot I have this thing. She was acting weird, but I brushed it off. Until Tuesday afternoon, when I decided to check out that bookstore we were using for our project. As I approached, I spotted 2 familiar figures through the window of the cafe next door. Jake and Zoe sitting close, laughing. His hand was on hers. She tucked her hair behind her ear the way she did when she was flirting. Then he leaned in and kissed her. I stood frozen on the sidewalk, my stomach dropping to my feet. My best friend and my crush, together, behind my back. The betrayal hit me like a physical blow. All those canceled plans, the intel gathering, it had all been a lie. Zoe hadn't been helping me get closer to Jake. She'd been getting closer to him herself. I stormed into the cafe, my hands shaking. Jake and Zoe looked up from their cozy corner, surprise turning quickly to guilt on his face and something like annoyance on hers. What exactly is going on here? Zoe crossed her arms. I was going to tell you. It just happened. Just happened? After you offered to help me get his attention? He chose me instead. Not my fault you couldn't seal the deal. I turned to Jake, who was suddenly fascinated with his coffee cup. Did you know I liked you? That's why Zoe was hanging around you in the first place. She never specifically said. He shrugged. I thought she was just being friendly. That's convenient. Both of you are full of crap. Zoe rolled her eyes. Can you not make a scene? You're being dramatic. I walked out, ignoring them calling after me. The betrayal stung worse than I had imagined possible. The next week, I avoided our usual spots on campus. I skipped shared classes, took different routes to my dorm, and muted our friend group chat after seeing them both included in weekend plans. The campus bookstore where I worked part-time became my sanctuary. "You've been alphabetizing that same shelf for 15 minutes," Taylor, my coworker, said during a slow Tuesday shift. "Everything okay?" Something about her straightforward manner made me spill everything. "Your best friend did that. That's cold." Taylor frowned. "Wait, Jake Mitchell? The guy with the vintage t-shirts? You know him?" "My roommate's in his stats class. Let me check something." She pulled out her phone and pulled up Instagram. "Is this him?" I nodded, surprised. I'd never looked him up online. "Check out who comments on all his posts." Taylor pointed to a recurring name. "Vanessa." I clicked on her profile and felt my stomach drop. Her most recent post showed her and Jake at a lake, his arm around her waist. The caption read, "2 years with my favorite person." "She goes to Westlake College," Taylor said, scrolling through more photos. "Only an hour away." I swiped through more posts. Weekend trips, family gatherings, holidays. The evidence was overwhelming. "So he's not just a liar," I said slowly. "He's a cheater too. And Zoe has no idea. They're both trash, but he's playing an even bigger game." Taylor handed me back my phone. "Question is, what are you going to do with this information?" I stared at Vanessa's profile for a long time before finally working up the courage to message her. "You don't know me, but we need to talk about Jake Mitchell." 20 minutes later, my phone buzzed with her reply. "What about him?" I took a deep breath and typed, "I think he's cheating on you with my ex-best friend." She called me immediately. "Is this some kind of joke?" "I wish it was. I can send you pictures if you don't believe me." "Please do." I sent the cafe photos Taylor had taken discreetly after our discovery. The line went silent. "Vanessa?" "He told me he was staying late for group projects." Her voice cracked. "We've been together for 2 years and 3 months." "I'm really sorry. My former friend Zoe was supposed to be helping me connect with him. Turns out she was connecting with him herself." "That son of a... When was this photo taken?" "Tuesday. They've been seeing each other for at least 3 weeks that I know of. While he was telling me he couldn't visit because of midterms." Vanessa paused. "Listen, I'm coming to state this weekend. Can we meet?" Saturday morning, I waited nervously at a coffee shop off campus. Vanessa walked in with a tall guy who introduced himself as Darius, her roommate. "I hope you don't mind that I brought backup," Vanessa said. "I wasn't sure if this was some elaborate setup." "Smart move. I brought evidence." I opened my laptop, showing screenshots of texts from Zoe canceling plans coinciding with dates she was with Jake. Darius whistled. "This dude's been playing a dangerous game." "He told me his phone died when I tried calling him Tuesday night," Vanessa said, scrolling through my evidence. "That was when he was with your friend. Ex-friend. And he told me he was busy with family that same night when we were supposed to work on our econ project." Darius leaned forward. "So what's the plan? Just confront them separately?" I shook my head. "They'd just deny everything or spin it. We need to catch them together, with you there too." "The spring mixer," Vanessa said suddenly. "It's next Friday at your campus. Jake invited me, saying it would be a surprise for his friends since I rarely visit. He doesn't know I'm here today." "That's perfect," Darius added. "I've got some tech skills. We could compile all the evidence, texts, photos, social media into something we can display if needed." "I know the event coordinator," I said. "We could get access to the projector setup they use for announcements." We spent the next 2 hours planning. Vanessa shared screenshots of Jake's excuses. I contributed Zoe's texts where she'd pumped me for information about what I liked about Jake, information she'd used herself. Darius organized everything into a devastating timeline. "One more thing," Vanessa said, pulling out her phone. "Watch this." It was a video of Jake last Christmas with her family, giving a heartfelt toast about the woman I want to build a future with. "He gave me this promise ring the same day," she showed her hand. "Said it was a pre-engagement. By the time we finished, we had a bulletproof case and a solid plan. Friday at 9 p.m., Darius confirmed. Operation Two-Timing Takedown is a go. I almost feel bad for them, I said. Almost. Vanessa squeezed my hand. Don't. They made their choices. The spring mixer was in full swing when I arrived. Taylor stood by the DJ booth, giving me a thumbs up. She'd connected the projector system. All set? Darius whispered, laptop in hand. Vanessa outside, ready for her cue. At 9 p.m. sharp, the music faded and the lights dimmed. The projector flickered to life, displaying Jake and Vanessa together at Christmas, complete with the promise ring. Then came the split screen. Jake's texts to Vanessa about study groups alongside photos of him with Zoe on those exact dates. The crowd murmured as Zoe's face transformed from confusion to shock. Jake frantically scanned the room, looking for an escape. Right on cue, Vanessa walked in. Surprise, babe. I made it after all. Jake froze. Vanessa! You weren't supposed to be here until tomorrow. Clearly, who's this? I'm his girlfriend, Zoe said, her voice wavering. That's weird because I've been his girlfriend for over 2 years. She's just a friend, Jake stammered. We reconnected recently. Save it. I stepped forward. The evidence is literally projected behind you. Zoe stared at the screen. You told me you were single? He told me he was working on group projects, Vanessa added, while he was with you. This is all a misunderstanding. Darius played the Christmas video where Jake declared his love. I was just being nice to her family. While giving me a promise ring? Vanessa held up her hand. The student body president stepped forward. Jake, is this the kind of character you're bringing to represent our university? This is my private life. It has everything to do with integrity, someone shouted. Zoe turned to me, humiliation turning to rage. You set this up? You're pathetic. No, what's pathetic is pretending to help your best friend while stabbing her in the back. Our friend Amber approached Zoe. Is that true? You told me Malia was cool with you dating Jake. The fallout was immediate. By Monday, Jake had been forced to resign from student government. Zoe found herself suddenly friendless as the story spread. 3 weeks later, Vanessa, Taylor, Darius, and I sat at my favorite cafe, celebrating our new friendship. Heard Jake dropped out of the economics competition, Darius said. Public humiliation isn't a good look. Zoe requested a room change for next semester, Taylor added. No one wants to live with her. I didn't feel the vindictive satisfaction I'd expected. Instead, I felt free from toxic people who'd manipulated me, and grateful for the genuine connections I'd found in their place. Sometimes the best revenge isn't what you do to your enemies, but how you rebuild without them. What would you have done if you were in Malia's position? Was the public humiliation justified? Or do you think revenge should have been handled differently? Some might say the public exposure was too harsh, while others believe Jake and Zoe deserved exactly what they got for their deception. If you enjoyed this story of sweet justice, hit that like button and subscribe for more revenge tales just like this one. Your comments help me know what kind of stories you want to hear next, so don't forget to share your thoughts below.